Hello and welcome to a whole new ball game, a brand new series using the 1992-93 database here on the channel. I will explain all of the details and we'll find out who we are managing in just a second. Hello and welcome back to the channel. I hope this video finds you incredibly well. Today we're playing the 1992-93 database. Not quite in anger just yet, but we are going to find out who we are managing in a whole new ball game. So the specifics, we'll get to them, all of the details. But what we're going to do is we're going to start the brand new Premier League season, unemployed, simulate forward until somebody, anybody in the Premier League gets themselves sacked, and then we're going to join that club and basically try and work our way up to title. So whether we start out right at the bottom and have to get relegated and then find a new job, whatever happens, we don't have to win the Premier League with the club that we immediately take control of, but we do need to win the Premier League, and that is the challenge for this series. Whether it takes 1 season, 5 seasons, anywhere in between, anywhere longer than that, we shall find out. But we're going to find out who we're going to manage. But first, we're going to have a look at all of the teams in this new update. So we are going to start out by having a look at the media prediction for the Premier League. You see, Manchester United are favourites. Middlesbrough are favourites to go down along with Ipswich and Oldham. But the best 11, we're going to have a look through the media Dream 11 as well. I'm going to start out by looking at Peter Schmeichel, goalkeeper for Manchester United. He's world class, as you'd expect. A perfectionist, 28 years of age, fresh off the Euro 92 victory with Denmark. And there's a familiar Manchester United feel about the back line as well. So Irwin is in at left back. He is a great left back, obviously, 26 in his prime. Steve Bruce, the commanding, powerful centre-back, incredible heading of 20. He is getting on a little bit at 31, but he is in the back line as well. And if you're familiar with 90s football, you expect some Arsenal players in there as well. A youngish Tony Adams and another elite centre-back with 20 heading. That is incredible. And lots of other 20s as well. And Lee Dixon is the right-back in the media Dream 11, slightly older. But he is just described as a full-back. Got decent pace, decent everything, essentially. In midfield, a bit more of a mixed bag. We've got a couple of Aston Villa players. So Kevin Richardson out on the left-hand side, according to the Media Dream 11, but he can play in the centre as well. And so is Ray Houghton, Irish. I believe he eventually went on to manage Ireland, but he is a experienced attacking midfielder. And so is John Barnes. He is elite, however, because he is just that little bit better. Great free kick taker as well. Lots of great attributes there. And rounding out the midfield, Peter Beardsley, who's currently at Everton. Obviously, probably more familiar being alongside Shearer in the Entertainers at Newcastle. But he is another great midfielder. Up front, we've got Ian Rush of Liverpool, 30 years of age, still in his, just about in his prime. An experienced striker. Fantastic finishing of 19 and lots of other great attributes across the board. And you don't need introducing to Eric Cantona. You might be wondering why he's still at Leeds United. Because he was still at Leeds United at the beginning of the season. He is elite. His finishing isn't the best, but everything else is incredible. That's the Dream 11. A quick look down the list according to the predictions. So Ferguson is expected to lead Man United to the title. We've got Arsenal. Great. We'll just have a quick flick through, see where we get to. Liverpool here as well. And the Leeds expected to still be challenging with Howard Wilkinson in charge. Cantona, if he stays there, will guide Leeds to a European place, I would definitely think. Everton, Spurs, and then Villa down in 7th. So Villa, in the real world, they finished 2nd, but they're predicted to finish 7th. Obviously, the prediction does not follow the real world as we continue cycling down. We've got Man City 8th, Sheffield Wednesday 9th, and then Chelsea, who are also getting European football, down in 10th. So I think Sheffield Wednesday finished, was it 3rd last season? But we're going to carry on. Nottingham Forest, who got relegated, are expected to finish 11th. QPR, who had a great season, they were the top London club in the first season of the Premier League. They're 12th. Norwich, who were the upset surprise package from the whole season, 13th, alongside Blackburn, who are newly promoted, in 14th. Those two sides obviously finished 3rd and 4th, third and fourth behind Villa and Man United. In the real world, we've got Crystal Palace and then Southampton down in 16th, and we're getting down towards the relegation battlers now, with Sheffield United quickly followed by Wimbledon if we continue down. So Wimbledon here obviously without what is his name, Vinnie Jones, At this point, he's still at Chelsea, I believe. And then we've got Coventry in 19th. And then the 3 teams expected to go down are Ipswich, who will probably go down, let's be honest. They were promoted last season. Oldham and Middlesbrough. So they are the 22 clubs in a whistle-stop fashion. We're going to go forward to the season starts, simulate a while, and see if we can get anyone sacked so we can get a job somewhere. Let's have a look. So we are back. We've had 1 game played. I just wanted to have a quick look at who had done well on the opening day. Essentially, Man United started out on the Friday, the first ever Premier League game. They beat Chelsea 3-1. Mark Hughes getting a hat-trick. Plenty of other goals as well. Looks like Fashanu got a hat-trick for Aston Villa. He looks like he's moved from Wimbledon. And Armstrong getting a hat-trick for Palace. Man City winning. Palace winning. Villa getting a victory. Liverpool winning. Leeds and Spurs also coming out with 3 points from the opening day. There's the Villa victory there. Everton and Oldham drawing 2-2. Plenty of, well, nothing really you can read. Jason Wilcox got 2 assists for Blackburn. Gary Flitkoff another 2 assists. Basically, Hughes has stolen the opening day. Got the first hat-trick in Premier League history. And yeah, so we're gonna simulate forward probably to the end of September, beginning of October, that sort of time. See what's happening in the game. See if anyone is on the verge of being sacked. There's probably going to be quite a few sackings in the first division, but we want a Premier League side. We're going to jump on the first Premier League side that we can. So let's skip forward, see what happens, and see where we end up. So the waiting game continues, and you can see that Manchester United have started out incredibly well, as have Leeds. So Hughes has got 9 goals, and Cantona's got 6 for Leeds. And I can see there as well that Robert Prozinecki has been bought at some point by Man United from Real Madrid. He is quite high on the average rating. There is Mark Hughes, an incredible striker. His finishing's not amazing, but he's got 9 goals in 6 so far for Manchester United. Down at the bottom, it's the 2 Sheffield sides struggling, along with Coventry and Blackburn, surprisingly enough. That ought to change. Looking in terms of the jobs at risk, so far, Bobby Gould at Coventry is the only insecure job in the Premier League. Ron Atkinson has been jumping between insecure and stable with Villa, but there's plenty of time for someone to get themselves sacked. So it might be that we're heading to Coventry City. We shall see. They are down in the relegation zone at the moment, but whether that lasts and Gould gets sacked, we shall find out. Okay, it has happened. 2 Premier League managers have lost their job. We've just got into November, and we have seen Ron Atkinson and Trevor Francis getting themselves sacked at the beginning of the month. It was Atkinson first, so we are off to Aston Villa. They are struggling down at the bottom of the table. They're 18th, not doing well. Been playing a 4-4-2. This is the 4-4-2 that I think they must have played in their last game. Obviously, we're now on an international break, so it's going to be a couple of weeks before we actually get a game. But they are, media prediction finished 7th. Sheffield Wednesday, who did incredibly well in the final Old First Division, were predicted to finish 9th, but they're currently rock bottom with the likes of Chris Waddle and Nigel Pearson, Roland Nilsson. They've got a good side. I'm surprised they are down that far. But it is Villa who we will be managing. And we've got Nottingham Forest in our first game. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to retire our original manager because, well, we've been simulating for nearly 2 hours. That's how long it's taken. But what we're going to do is, we're going to no, we're not going to simulate anymore. We're going to add a new manager in. We're not going to be the manager of Blackburn. We're going to be the manager of Aston Villa. And we shall see what happens as we take over the club. Right, we are now, any second, confirming our manager profile. Here we go. Let's get welcomed to the club. Welcome to Villa Park. And there we go. The breaking news is in. Aston Villa have hired Anderzbaz as the club's new manager. Very inexperienced. Never managed before. It's 1992. I'm 3. Anyway, you put pen to paper on a 3-year deal, and we are replacing Ron Atkinson, who was sacked just 2 days ago. Assistant manager Dave Sexton did not manage a game. Currently down in 18th. We're out of the Cup Winners' Cup by the look of things. Out of the League Cup by the look of things. I need to add in a Cup Winners' Cup logo. I've added in a Premier League logo, an FA Cup logo, a League Cup logo, and the First Division logo as well. But I need to find a Cup Winners' Cup logo that is time appropriate. We're doing poorly. This is what the game reckons is our best 11. It's not 4-4-2, so it should be 4-4-2. But where's Dwight York? That's what I want to know. Anyway, this is what we'll cover all this at some point. We're not going to reach the semi-final of the Cup Winners' Cup if we're already out of it, but we'll cover that probably in another episode. We'll have a proper look. We'll have a media press conference, but we want a meeting every month. We don't want to be bombarded. Right. So here we are. We are new manager of Aston Villa. I've not managed Aston Villa, I don't think, since Championship Manager 97-98. So I'll probably have some vague familiarity with some players in this squad. Probably not the older players, maybe the younger players who will have actually broken through into the first team by the 97-98 point of time. But here we go then. So we've got Forest next in the league, followed by Borough. They will be the two games we'll come to in the next episode, just to let you know. Here is the squad. We'll sort by the view of ability. So Ray Houghton is our best player, with Paul McGrath and Steve Staunton as the essentially up there, and Kevin Richardson as well. We've signed John Fashanu at some point. He's our new striker alongside York and Atkinson. But I think we've got a pretty good squad. But a young Mark Bosnich in goal, slightly better than Nigel Spink. But it looks like it's been York who's been getting the few goals that we have scored. Fashanu doesn't look like he's put many in yet. But we played 4-4-2, and we'll probably continue to play 4-4-2 because it's 1992. Why would we not play 4-4-2? Anyway, we're out of the League Cup to Tranmere. Just have a look at the last game. That was a 4-4-2 as well. So it looks like York has been paired with either Atkinson or Fashanu up front. That's probably what we will do. But we'll make a little tactic. It's not going to be anything groundbreaking. It's going to be 4-4-2, and we'll have a look at that in a second. Tactic is finished. We're going to play with a wing play 4-4-2, and this is what I think so far. I've not properly dove deep into this yet, but this is what I think the best 11 is going to be. So we'll have Bosnich in goal, Staunton, Teal, McGrath, Barrett in defence. We'll have a proper look. In fact, we'll have a proper look through all of the players. Right, this is Bosnich. As you can see, at 21, he's pretty impressive already as a goalkeeper. Earl Barrett, who I'm not massively familiar with. I think he was a little bit before my time, as in I don't really remember him that much. He's at right back. Paul McGrath at centre back. He is elite. He's definitely our best player, I think. Great stats across the board. Sean Teal, another one I'm not massively familiar with. The name does ring a bell, but he is our other centre-back. He's another commanding centre-back. And Steve Staunton, quite young there at left-back. Great, essentially. Great. That's about all you need to know. He's just pretty solid across the board at everything. Ray Houghton, he's getting on a little bit in our midfield. I think that's going to be quite a sign for some of our better players in the midfield. Similar for Kevin Richardson. So Richardson's only 29. I thought he was slightly older than that. But he's a great player as well. Really solid defensive midfielder, ball-winning midfielder in the centre. And Gary Parker is who we're going to have in there as well. He's probably not as good. Tony Daly, at the moment, we've got shifted over to the left. I'm not quite comfortable with that. He's better on the right-hand side of the pitch. We shall see what moving around we need to do to try and fit it. We might have to change the formation, to be honest, but we'll see how the players fit. John Fashanu with his 2 England caps and his Wimbledon shirt. He came across at the beginning of the season, clearly. Ron Atkinson's final signing, but he's pretty good. Great finishing of 17, heading of 18. He's going to be commanding in the air. And this is one for the future. 21-year-old Dwight York. He's going to be good. When he's developed, he is going to be really good. He's got some good pace, and his technique is there as well. He's not quite got everything that you expect him to have. By the time we get to the mid-90s, he will be incredible. But this is what we're going to do. We're going to end this episode here, hype everything up, and come back with the next episode away at the City Ground, 19th place Nottingham Forest, followed by 15th place Middlesbrough at home. They will be the first 2 games of this series in episode number 2, and we shall have a proper look at what this Villa squad can do and see whether we can qualify for Europe or whether we're going to head the same way as Ron Atkinson and get ourselves sacked. We're not going to sit at the wrong dugout, though, as we get to the City Ground. That's what Big Ron did when he joined Nottingham Forest as manager in 97, 98. I think it was 97, 98. Anyway, in the late 90s, just before they went down. Maybe it was 98, 99. I'm not remembering that very well. Anyway, he went into the wrong dugout. We're going to go into the away dugout, which is coincidentally the one he went into. I'm rambling. I shall see you in the next episode. I hope you've enjoyed this whistle stop around the beginning of the Premier League season. We're about 11 games in, but we'll be back with our first game in charge of Aston Villa in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do so. Give this video a big thumbs up. Share it around. Doing that a lot. And I will see you very soon. Thank you very much. See you soon. Bye-bye. Well, hey, you've made it to the end of the video and... Hang on, what's... It's a subscribe button. Tap on this. Even if you've done it already, just try it. See what happens. And then if you're hanging around, have a look. Have a look at these. One of these. Check out some of this amazing content. You won't regret it. I'll see you next time.